So better, I think, than the study team test, but there's still some room for improvement to think about what's going on here. I like this question because it allows you to kind of think about things a little bit differently and maybe a little bit more creatively. Um, and it wasn't that much of a challenge for me to just quickly look at what you've written and verify that it's equivalent to what you have here. So one of the things I liked a lot of you did was you wrote down what this simplified to. So if I was to simplify this, I can write, for example, the number 12 is 4 times 3, and then I've got x to the third power in the numerator. In my denominator, there was a 3, and I'm going to break up this x to the fifth. I'm going to write it as x to the third times x to the second. So it takes a bit of training, but if you look closely at this, right, in my numerator, I've got 12x to the third, which is what I had here. And in my denominator, if you look, I've got 3x to the fifth power, which is what this was, 3x to the fifth power. What's convenient about this, the way it's written now, is we can clearly see that there is this giant 1 that they share of 3x cubed in both the numerator and denominator. So if I eliminate that 1, because it doesn't add any value to this expression, I end up with a 4 in the numerator and I get an x squared in the denominator. So that's one of the things you could write, right? This is the simplified version of it. So many of you wrote that 4 and then x to the second power. The other thing that I saw many of you do is write an expression that involved multiplication. So many of you might have wrote 4 and then times x to the negative second power. So I consider that fine. There's one expression that involves division, 4 over x squared, and one that involves multiplication, 4 times x to the negative 2. And then, for a final one, there's all kinds of things you could do. If you wanted, you can introduce a variable of y. And I could say, for example, I'm going to just multiply the top and bottom of this by, let's say 5y. Well, if I did that, 5y in the top and 5y in the bottom, I could get 20y in my numerator, and my denominator would be 5x squared y. Or I could make it y to the eighth power in both the top and the bottom. It doesn't matter, it still simplifies to the fact that this is just 4 over x squared. I could put, an extra factor of a in the top and the bottom. So there's a lot of different ways that you can add layers to this. And as I sit here and I add more and more and it gets more and more complex looking, I just appreciate the fact that it's really just 4 over x squared. And when you peel all that away, it's really it's beautiful to see this 4 over x squared, the simplicity of it. Anyways, it's been a fun evening. I hope you enjoyed going through this test. Just a bit of encouragement. I know a lot of you are, you're struggling to figure out what it means to study and what that looks like for you. Just realize that we've got many points still this semester, and there's definitely ample opportunity to improve your grades. I encourage you to focus on the mathematics, and your grade will take care of itself, but just really focus on just the thinking process and what we're doing here. And as you focus on that more and more and more, the layers of complexity will just melt away. If you've got questions or would like to talk to me, you know where you can find me at lunch or before school or after. Please stop by. This is Mr. Roberts. Have a nice evening or nice day whenever you're watching this.